If you like Kombat, you'll love Kombat Live. Make sure to follow our Twitch and Twitter to always know when we are live.
I think this is number 2. I believe this is officially number 2. We're going to be talking about reservation cigarettes.
Marijuana cigarettes.
Like, you mean reservation as in their rolled tobacco cigarettes or their marijuana rolled cigarettes?
Why don't we just go off with both?
Go off with both?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And you can share your opinions on those. So just dyke. So who wants to go first on this?
I'll let Nathan take this one.
Alright, Nathan, take her away.
Take it away.
How are your feelings towards the native non-tax cigarettes?
The untaxed cigarettes?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're fine and dandy. You know what?
I know.
The government shouldn't ding you if you buy them. Who cares? I know people get caught by cops all the time and they have like 6 packs of DKs on their visor. And they got dinged and the cops charged them so much money.
I remember our old janitor. He brought his F-150 in for an oil change, and we found a pack of ciggy bums there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the man has to deal with us little shits all day. I mean, yeah, I'd be fucking smoking a pack a day too.
Let me guess who it was. Is he a firefighter?
I don't know if he was a firefighter. Oh no, that was our high school one.
No, yeah, that's our public. That was he was public school.
Now that's something we should speak about. We had we had a very interesting janitor when we were in public school.
Yeah.
Let's just call him Gerald. Fitting enough that it's Gerald from Subway, because that's kind of how he acted. He would always try to make. What did he always try to have us do? Like tasks and shit.
Yeah, he literally he literally always had.
It's like Among Us.
Yeah, but he would come to the classroom and be like, "Oh well, I need a couple helpers. You know, we're gonna get you. You're gonna come down. You're gonna come down." It was always the girls too, the little ass girls.
Yeah.
It was.
And it's like, I'm sorry.
Then it was that one man, the one dude. It was all the girls, and it was the one man. He would always. He started a wrestling team, and I remember this like it was yesterday. He started a wrestling team, and we all thought that was fun, but it was only girls. It was only girls. It was strictly girl wrestling. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you guys graduated, a buddy of mine told me that there's a boys wrestling team, and he made them shave their legs, shave their arms, and their pits. And now this kid's leg hair does not grow back.
I mean, to be fair though, I do think that's a little extreme for a public
wrestling team.
But yeah. I understand why people, like, if you're a professional fighter, I understand it, because, you know, there's nothing for your opponent to grab. I understand the tactically the purpose of it, but to make your average public school wrestling team do that's, I don't know, taking it a little far, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know, there's a lot of oddballs out there, but...
Yeah, that, I don't know, there was... Yeah, you went to a different public school.
Yeah, I went to... I was in a public school? What are you talking about? I was at
it was a Catholic school.
You need something,
Sorry.
When you're right,
Sorry, not
let me know.
school, my apologies. How was that? I
Oh,
haven't heard
boy.
any of those stories.
It was so stupid. That place was literally a garbage dump. We had no funding, so we didn't get to do anything. And
That's shitty.
Morse Mutual.
all of
We're
our
here to
teachers were
help.
so dumb, and I hated
I
every
can do
single
that.
one of them.
Did you ever think about switching schools?
I wanted to,
Why didn't you?
but my dad wouldn't let me.
I see.
He wouldn't let me to go to your guys' high school either, so that's why I go to Catholic high school.
Oh yeah, that is. I was gonna say yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much done there, so. I mean, the only
My
thing
apologies
I'm
if you asked for me. I didn't even realize that my mic was just completely died.
You're good.
Yeah, back on the subject of like the employees of the school board, they were interesting to say the least. They were all very interesting.
Yeah, a lot of school board employees are weird.
Yeah.
I remember the EA.
Which
Maybe
one?
we'll speak about this one. So there was a child who had by no
Once when
means
you explain it, I'll
necessarily-
probably know. I don't want to drop names though. Like I'm not.
We didn't harass this child. To be
No.
honest with you, we never.
A lot of people did.
We never really even spoke to this because we just really stayed to ourselves. When we were in public school, we never really like did any extra stuff or whatever.
Well,
so
you did. I could be an asshole back then, but
yes and no. But
no,
anyways,
not
so,
when it came to that. Like, not when to bullying or anything. I was a shithead towards the teachers.
But there was a child in our grade. What was it? Well, I guess he was in almost all of our. Well, he was in the same grade as us, but he has special needs. And I remember that Brody and I went to the back to put our lunch pails away. And didn't this kid follow us? And this kid he was like, I guess you would say just developing like because he was what?
It
Probably
was
13.
we were in grade 8. I remember the grade 8. I know it was grade 8. So it's around that time we were starting to.
So we were about like 13. You start to discover that some parts are used for other things than going to the
Well, yeah.
bathroom.
Well, especially
And
with
this-
him, he couldn't control it too, right?
Exactly. And I remember this kid would always like fondle, I guess is the correct term.
You try
he
to
would always-
touch the different girls too.
Yeah. So the one day we were putting our lunch away, Brody and myself, and didn't this kid follow us? We were like, oh,
Yeah.
come on. So he followed us, and he proceeded to try to touch us. And I remember his EA was an asshole, like, and there's no way.
Well, he had one nice one and one asshole.
Yeah, and the asshole one was just an asshole. Too.
Yeah,
Like,
I will
just
to everybody.
was just a complete asshole.
Yeah, but she was worse.
So, anyways, didn't this kid go and try and touch me and myself? So, anyways, one thing led to another, and he may or may not have bumped his head. So, anyways, us not wanting to get in trouble.
Yeah.
He was saying ow, and Brody and I, not wanting to get in trouble, looked at his EA, and his EA came in the back and asked what happened. We didn't want to get in trouble, so we said that he hit his head off the railing.
Hey,
or whatever,
I want to
because
disclose. Any hand on him. I
No,
want to
you
disclose
didn't.
that.
that was fully me. But this kid, like, if you're not gonna control him, it wasn't. I didn't necessarily mean to hit, and it wasn't hard.
No.
Right? It was more
It's
just
a
like
for-
a love
it's a-
tap.
It's a forced reaction because you didn't even hit him. what you did basically for a little detail. He basically went to get a feel of the goods, and he basically got pushed away. That's what had happened, but he had accidentally, I think you had accidentally either hit him in the head or you pushed him back. He hit his head. I don't remember what. It's been so long. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's not like you really, not like you meant to, but.
And then he tried to blame it on us. So then so this EA never believed the challenged kid, because why would you believe the challenged kid, right?
Well, to be fair, I don't mean it rudely, but he did make up stuff sometimes. But that was just him trying to get what he wanted. It's like I said, not his fault.
We said that he hit him. The EA said something that's not very nice to lie, and didn't he just get in so much shit?
Hi there.
But
this is Brian
you know what?
From Allen Drum
You pay the
Productions.
price.
I was told you might be interested in.
Right, Chief? I don't care. I'm sorry, but if
I mean,
the EA who's employed to.
I'm sorry. I don't have anything against the kid. I like the kid. He can't help it, but I don't think always should have been in the classroom. And I don't mean that rudely towards him, because I understand he should be part of the class. He should understand. Don't exclude him because he needs extra help. But there's like a time I remember vividly in grade 6. I've gotten stuff thrown because I've been in his class like every year. I've gotten stuff thrown at me multiple times, but I remember vividly in grade 6. He had his own little corner in the one room, or in our classroom, because he had his own special corner because if he needed extra room to work, and he had his computer and shit. But I sat like right in front of it basically, and I remember he fucking eps, and not just like these little school scissors. For some reason, he was using a full pair of scissors. I don't know who gave it to him. I don't mean it rudely, but he started to have a little bit of a hissy fit because he was upset about something, and he whips the scissors in. It almost fucking donked me in the head. Like, it was like an inch off my head, and I seen it whiz past my face and smash off the window. And I basically just stood up and I walked over to the teacher. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't feel like, because he was like making a big scene. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I almost just got nailed with scissors. I'm going to stand over here until he de-escalates, because I don't want to get scissors wheeled at my head.
Yeah, now this kid goes to my school.
Oh,
does he?
Say
Yes.
He was quite the odd block, because I remember his mom would always make him a sandwich, and I don't know why I remember this, but he would always pick his sandwich apart and scrape. You know how, like, if you have like a sandwich that's not toasted and it's not like compressed down from like your lunch pail, like it's still like someone literally just made it. His mom would put butter and mustard on it, and I remember he would scrape just the first layer of the butter and mustard off the sandwich onto like his ham, and literally just have ham covered in butter and mustard. I don't know why I remember that, but that was
I do
just
remember
thought
that
was so weird.
Yeah, I mean,
we used to get in a lot of trouble, because I remember they were trying to teach him how to cook. I don't know why they decided to make him cook this. They thought that he was cooking because they gave him a Ritz cracker, and he put icing on it, and it just looked just disgusting.
I mean,
so me and
it was a nice gesture though.
Yeah, it was a nice gesture, but it just looked nasty. So me and my one buddy, we're like, no, like, we're okay. And this was when he had, like, the nice EA, not the asshole one. And didn't this EA just light us up, saying how it is so inappropriate that we didn't take it, and
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, she just had us have rip one side up, and then down the other. She was just...
Yeah, I mean, I looked at. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't exactly good because it was literally a Ritz cracker with like icing that already wasn't that good. It like I don't even know how to describe it. It just wasn't like it was really like it's what you would expect to get from the dollar store for $1.50. Like just really crappy like dry icing, and it just wasn't appealing. I mean, I took it because I felt bad, but it wasn't good. I just felt bad. I mean, I didn't have the heart to say no, so I'm like, fuck, yeah, sure, I'll take
Where
one.
I didn't want it.
To be fair, though, you were kind of back then, too, you were way more brassy. You didn't really think about if it would hurt people's feelings. I mean, I definitely didn't either, but, I mean, I think that's just most kids before high school, really. They don't really understand the impact of what they say and how bad some things really come off as.
No, but I had so many we had so many weird like encounters in school. Like I remember we had what else was there? I remember we had this French teacher who filled in for us, and there's a kid who our school does like pink day or whatever for bullying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if every school does that, but our school happened to do that. Well, this dude, who's a farmer, so by any means, if he's gay, whatever, but by any means, you wouldn't expect this fellow to be gay. So anyways, he put on a tutu and just started acting like so overly...
dramatic.
Like, overly gay. Like, so, like, and it's not to the point of, like, okay, if you wear a pride shirt or whatever, so, that's fine or whatever, but, like, this kid was just, he's so weird. So, he put on a tutu. Was it a tutu or skirt? It wasn't.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It was, like, a short little, like, tutus or skirt.
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
it definitely wasn't a skirt because that was a children's thing, and if a child wore that, I'd be kind of concerned. So I think it was a tutu because it wasn't very covering.
No. So okay, for story's sake, let's call it a tutu.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he was just wearing it, and me and my one buddy just made a comment saying like, "Do you really need to do it?" And it wasn't by any means like, well, how would I say, discriminate? Like,
You weren't doing it because of the
and
fact
it wasn't
that it was
because
gay. He was being annoying about it. He was
yeah,
being obnoxious.
He was being annoying because he had like a little fairy like stick and waving it around, saying like,
and he would wave it in your face too.
Yeah, so we, like, all of us, and I think I was obviously the only one who was heard by the teacher. I just said, do you mind, like, I don't give two shits if you want to wear a pink shirt. I really don't care. You could wear a black shirt, you could wear a white shirt, you could wear a pink shirt, you could wear a brown shirt, a green. I really don't give a shit what you wear. You could wear no shirt for all I care. Do you, alright? I don't care what you wear. But when you start wearing a little gay, like, thing and trying to overly make everything just gay, like, I'm gonna say something.
Okay.
Like, it's just...
Okay, it's not, like I said, it's not the gay I have a problem with, but the way I see it,
being the
the way I'm gonna put it is your sexuality is not a personality trait. So just,
No.
I don't care if you're gay, but I don't want to hear 24/7, just in the same spectrum, I don't want to hear someone fucking flexing because they're straight. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to talk to you because I don't, your sexuality doesn't make you who you are. Well, I mean, it does to a point when it comes to, like, partners and shit, but I mean, it's not a personality trait.
But my god, did this French teacher ever go off?
Oh,
she overheard and she's like, you do that. So one thing led to another, and I don't actually think I got kicked out of class, because if I did, I would have been in great shit, because at that time our principal was a lesbian, and like full like full lesbian.
Yeah.
So I
like,
would
well,
have
yeah,
got
not even trying to
my
be rude,
ass
but yeah,
handed
she
to
was
me.
openly, and
She was a
wouldn't tolerate.
butch.
She did, yeah, she didn't tolerate shit anyway. She definitely wouldn't tolerate that. Like if it's anything homophobic, she.
And it
that's
wasn't even
worse.
meant to be a homophobic remark. It was supposed to be like a, can you stop waving your little fairy thing in my face? And it was because I used the word fairy. I didn't mean it like you were acting like a fairy, because even though the kid was acting as a fairy, I didn't mean it like that. I was trying to say, stop waving your stupid fairy wand in my face. I really don't care. So anyway, she lit me right up. But this French teacher was so weird. I remember she had a fursuit.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, I remember hearing this. The furry.
And we confronted her about it, and she literally got so, because it was in a cupboard in the back of her pantry, and she just got so mad.
Well, yeah, because we weren't even being dicks about it. We were wondering like what the fuck.
Yeah,
it was.
we're like,
because it was like a big fur costume.
Yeah, we're like, why do you have a fursuit in like a children's class? And it stunk.
It did.
The thing that concerned us was it smelled like BO, like it was so bad. And it's not like we like put our nose in it and tried to sniff it. Like
no, it's just being in the
literally-
general vicinity of it, you could smell it. Like you could just being near it, you could. It was gross.
We opened it and it just smelled disgusting. So, yeah, she was just weird. And I remember she got all pissed off at us because we did. Who knows? We probably sung the national anthem in English, not French or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she slammed the door. This was our school was like just renovated. Like we had like a bunch of new, like the classrooms were ripped apart and put new stuff in. So she just slammed this door and she broke the glass.
Oh,
and I remember she literally she got in no trouble. And
No.
I'm pretty sure it was like us, like a couple of our buddies. This was the same janitor who's questionably the pedophile. And anyways,
Fix shit?
yeah, who wouldn't fix shit and say that we needed a brand new door when we literally said that you could. And it was, I don't even think the glass was broken. I think like the glass kind of sat in like a slight, like the door had like a slit in it, but you could like easily interchange it out. And I'm pretty sure like the slit was a little bit broken because it was like screwed in. So we said, oh, we only need, like, you probably only need, like, some screws and screw it in, right? And, oh my god, we had another lecture about, oh, well, you don't run this school, and you think you're so smart, and da-da-da. Like, this man took his job, like, if he did something wrong, like, literally the entire world would die.
Well, it's because he
Like,
did shit wrong all the time, and the students would call him out for it because he was doing shit wrong, and then he'd get pissed because, oh, how dare you tell me I'm wrong? I don't know, how about try being right? I don't know, I mean, it's not my fault. If grade 8s can tell you're wrong and are right, how dumb... I don't want to call him dumb because he was nice enough, but how smart can you really be if you are constantly undermined by, like, grade 8s? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If grade 8s are smart enough to see where your fuck-ups are when you are there to clean and fix shit and you don't know how to clean and fix shit.
Oh, exactly. But yeah, he used to get so mad saying like how he ran the school and all this, and he was just letting us know.
Janitors' lives matter.
We should get him a t-shirt like that.
JLM.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't really think there's really any other like really weird teachers other than that janitor, and he wasn't really even a teacher.
Well, do you remember in like grade 2? And I don't mean to be homophobic when I say this, but this is the only way I can describe him and you would understand. You remember that dude that didn't last very long that lived in your grandma's trailer park? He had his, like, he was
Oh,
very clearly gay.
Yes.
But he had the mustache, yeah.
The principal, yes.
Yeah. He was odd. He lasted like a month. So, I don't know. I mean,
I know what guy
there
you're
was
talking
always
about.
rumor, yeah. He was always rumored, like, around the school of he touched a kid, but that could just be stupid kids.
That guy yelled at me because I would wait for my bus at your school, and you know when you're going out of the back parking lot and there's the sidewalk and it goes through the fence and then there's a fence separating the sidewalk from the road?
Mm-hmm.
There'd always be a big snowbank there and we'd hop over it, and he saw me hop over it one day and he slammed the brakes on his car and stopped to yell at me. And I hated that man ever since.
I remember, like, the school rules that we had, like, were so stupid. Like, oh, no throwing snowballs because someone could get a rock in the head. Well, you know what? Some of the kids would have been probably better off today if they got a rock in the head. Like, literally. Like, they wouldn't let us build, like, so if someone was, like, hammered, or not even hammered, like, even if someone was just an idiot and wanted to just run over a bunch of kids, our, like, field where all the kids were let loose to go graze for our breaks. Graze in the grass, exactly. We were allowed to, like, in the snow, we had a tarmac, but we would always, like, get wet with water bottles and, like, slide down them. And didn't we get in giant shit for sliding down that, being just like normal kids?
Oh yeah.
We also had a guardrail protecting our field from the parking lot, right? So anyways, we would build, like, there would always be sweet, like, like snow drifts that are, like,
They would
right
get pushed over the
top.
guardrail, basically.
Yeah, so we would always build, like, forts. Or, like,
In fucking huge
stuff.
forts at that.
Like, and literally people would, like, fight. Like, there'd be, like, 6 people in one fort, and, like, it sounds stupid now, but, like, back in the day, that shit was awesome. But I remember that we all got so much shit, because I think one of us, we dropped, like, there was one kid who dropped, like, I don't know, like a block of ice or something, and it was a big block of ice that he wanted for his, like, fort, just over the guardrail. So he literally just kind of slid down the side of the guardrail to grab it. It wasn't that it. Like, he was just so... All the teachers just made us stop doing that, saying that we're gonna go and get killed. God, like, let kids be kids.
Yeah, I understand giving them shit if they go over the guardrail, but I mean, there's like 7 teachers outside, you know, do your fucking job and watch the kids, make sure they don't go over. If they do, you get them in shit
Like
and
I
go,
said,
okay, no more playing there.
We got in a lot of shit. There was people's fences who lived, like, right.
We got in
beside the
trouble for
school.
playing Foursquare.
Yeah.
Because there was one kid who always caused problems for everybody. So instead of doing the logical thing and removing the one kid that was constantly causing problems, they were, how about we just not let anybody play it? So me and one buddy, it was 2 buddies. We had, like, this was at the point when I had stopped. There was, like, a couple years where me and you were still friends, but we didn't primarily hang out with each other. You were with other buddies, and I was with a certain group. I was usually with 2 other people, and we created, there was, like, so, if you guys know what Foursquare is, there's basically, there's different rules we played where the real way is you can only hit it once, and you have to just, it's in first person serves every time, but you just have to kind of stay in the square, and when you get eliminated, someone else comes in number 4, everybody, like, moves up 1. Well, instead of having this 4, because they had closed off these areas and wouldn't let you anywhere fucking near them with the ball, there were sidewalks, so we had kind of in our mind sectioned them off to where, because there was like definite like cracks, so you could tell that. So it was basically like a 3 square. It was just me and a couple buddies. We never got into any fights like ever. We were playing with 4 days, and they didn't know this because, well, we weren't causing any shit. And one day, one cockhead of a teacher, this dude, I don't know if you remember him. He was there more at our end. This dude looked like he came out of a fucking boot camp. He was here just to purely yell at the kids. He fucking was straight out of the 50s with his fucking back hair, full suit and tie every day to fucking work. Like, he was
that
an
Mr.
asshole. No, your brother does anything. Like I said, I don't want to
Mr. L?
Yes.
Yes.
That cocksucker. I don't like him. I don't give a shit.
You wanna know? You wanna know what's funny? You wanna know what's funny?
What's that?
He had a stroke at school.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
I shouldn't laugh, but you know, funny, karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Because he had a stroke at school.
Yeah.
Like my brother was telling me that he was in the chair and he just slumped over.
Oh my god.
So.
But yeah, no, he was unnecessarily an asshole, and okay, I will admit I was an asshole when I was in. My teachers didn't like me, but he was like unnecessarily an asshole. There'd be days where I would just mind my own business, and the teachers were like, okay, he's having a good day, let's just not bother him. I just listen to my music all day, I'd do whatever I wanted, but he went out of his way just to fuck with any kid. Like, any kid. And he noticed we were playing something with the ball, so he had to, naturally, his fucking military ass had to come over and fucking, oh, what are your little fuckheads doing? And he literally reamed us for minding our own business, playing 3 square with the ball, took it away, and
Just say
told me
3 square, not 4
it.
square.
And then, well, that's what we said. We played all the stupid arguments, fucking, we even tried playing dumb, didn't work. And eventually the principal comes up, and so she's like, okay, she says to the class, she's like, well, we're gonna talk about this whole, or 3 or whatever, because more people started playing. We kind of did it out of like an act of rebellion, of like, fuck you, we're gonna do it anyway, like, we're minding our own business. It was only one kid causing issues. We can play a game by ourselves and be civil. So that's kind of what we were doing. And so this principal comes up, so I'm hoping she's gonna be like, oh yeah, well, as long as there's no problems, continue on playing. But this bitch comes up, fucking walks in the room, and she's like, yeah, in her fucking manly ass voice, she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna stop playing with like all the balls because you guys just don't understand how to stop playing fucking 3 square and 4 square. And I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, why am I getting punished for minding my own business and having fun?
It was the same shit as when we used to play mini sticks.
Yeah.
We used to play mini sticks,
yeah.
and there's always
and
the one kid.
Once again,
the same kid.
The same one kid who caused all the issues. And you know what happened?
Like 40
everybody
of us playing mini sticks.
Everybody noticed, even the teachers noticed. When the days he wasn't there, we were all fine. Every day he was there, the teacher was over there at least 3 times in the fucking one break.
And considering how we're all Canadian, mini sticks was like,
that was like a big thing.
It was a big thing.
That
At my
was like
school, they had a mini
big
court put in.
Yeah, like,
yeah. Well, we didn't have a court. We had like where all the classes would line up. where all the classes would line up, we would have we had like a little. How would I say? There's like a little.
There was a cubby hole where it was like a gym exit and you couldn't get in, and we used that one side as a net.
Yeah.
You remember that?
There was. Yeah. Yep. So there was the cubby hole was the net, and then there was like the fence, like 2 fence poles was our other one, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. So there was that, but yeah, the same kid, and we would go hardcore. Like people would bring like actual goalie stuff.
Oh yeah, people were bringing in the pads and the masks and the gloves.
But yeah, people were just like going on with stuff like that, but yeah, it was like just hilarious how we got that banned. We got a lot of stuff banned.
But it was always the same select few kids, always. And other people minded their own frickin' business.
And it was always like 2 kids.
It was always a couple kids. I mean, I will be honest, I was an asshole. I did cause a lot of shit, but I don't think my shit was necessarily undeserved, because there was a couple... Later on, there was a couple more kids, because the one kid that we are talking about ended up leaving when we were in grade 7, so he would have been grade 6. I believe that's when he left, at least. And there was another kid that was really bad too. That kind of took his spot, honestly. But we were sick of it, because he would constantly, both of them would constantly piss us off in any way, fuck with us all the time, like, and we having enough, because we had tried to go to the teachers. We had tried to say, hey, look, we're not just picking on this kid because he has issues. Like, no, this kid's being a cock, and he wouldn't stop. Not like he had issues, but he just bad home is what it was.
The problem is I think it was something along the lines of his dad used to be like abusive or something along those lines. And then they left, like the mom left, like a lot, like I don't even think the kid even, excuse me, I don't even think the kid had any like abuse.
I have.
It's just, I might be wrong, but I remember, because I used to be friends with him. We actually all used to be friends before he was like a dick. The problem is he had anger issues, and then the school like literally let him get off with everything because, well, he has anger issues, instead of actually, punishing your kid. Because guess what? You know what? Yeah, literally I can say about anything. Oh yeah, well, I'm mad, so I'm just gonna lash out and do stupid shit. No, that's not a justifiable thing that you're allowed to do. Yeah, we got a lot. School was quite interesting.
That's
now
cool
that
shit.
Yes. Now that we're coming to the our last year of high school, who even knows if this year will even finish, considering Corona's. I don't know. It's been quite the interesting adventure, to say the least.
Yeah. I remembered another story, another public school story. I think you'll remember this one, Tyler. So when I said like that's cool as shit, like I'm not just over exaggerating. Every kid thinks they're cool as shit. Like they were all good people, but the issue is that they never did really anything about kids bullying. And just to put it in perspective, Tyler's little brother, I think, is how old? Like 4 years younger than you?
4 years younger.
4 years younger. So his little brother is 4 years younger than him, and there was this kid that is a year younger than us, but I'm like, so basically around the same age still. At the time of this kid was in grade 7. Me and Tyler were in grade 8. This kid was in grade 7. Tyler's brother would have been in grade 4. And every day, for no reason, this kid, like I said, I'll remain him nameless, but he wouldn't stop picking on Tyler's brother. And Tyler's parents, it had gotten so bad that even like Tyler's parents found out about it. And so they had called to the school and said, like, there's something happening with this kid, can we have a discussion about it, basically. Nice about it at first. And I believe your parents were nice about it for like at least 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, because
trying to get this problem solved.
This
never stopped.
This is when we had like a different. This was not the asshole. Well, I guess she was an asshole. But, she would always wear a suit, and she would always take her job like ultimately
Mrs. S?
seriously. Yes.
Yes, I remember
And
her.
my parents literally got so fed up. Like, they would get called in so, like, probably once a week saying, like, oh, well, so-and-so was bullying your son, da-da-da-da-da. So, it literally got so, like, schools, like, and the problem, Brody and I ended up, eventually, we just got so sick of it, we ended up
I took
taking
matters
care of
into
it.
my own action. I took matters into my own hands. And
we just said, like, enough's enough. Sorry, Bob.
Well, this kid was, like I said, in grade 7. Tyler's brother was in grade 4. And yeah, every day, trying to get this problem resolved. Like, your parents being nice about it, too. Trying to get this problem resolved. And they just wouldn't do anything about it. So I had even said to the principal, like, hey, okay, but at the end of this, I remember, you were talking about the Butch, principal. When this happened, when we took matters into our own hands, is when she stepped in principal. Because when she stepped in principal, Tyler's parents figured, you know, new person, maybe she'll take care of it. She never took care of it either. So that's when we started going at it. We took matters into our own hands. So I said to the principal too, I said, this isn't any of my business, but I was always like hanging out with Tyler and shit. So even Tyler's brother was like a little brother to me too. That's how I've always kind of seen him. He was always like, I was always close to him too, to a certain degree. So I basically said, like, I know it's none of my business, but like this kid's getting bullied, and there's a big age gap here. And not that 3 years is a big difference, but when you're talking about a grade 4 and a grade 7, if you think about the growth difference, there's a big difference.
Yes.
Excuse me.
And they wouldn't do anything, so eventually, I mean, I do believe, I don't remember exactly, I know I ended up threatening the kid somehow. Oh, I think that's when he grabbed me. You remember when he grabbed me and threw me up against the wall, and I got pissed, I pushed him so hard he smashed his head. He kind of got a little hurt. I mean, to be fair, should I have done that? No. But, I mean, I was kind of fed up with him bullying this kid for so long, and he definitely deserved it. And if there wasn't more, like, if he didn't kind of drop his attitude so quick, I mean, I probably would have hit him, honestly. But, like, the kid had been bullied for so long, and he didn't deserve it. It's not like he's a bad kid. He doesn't do anything wrong.
No. This kid was just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably.
But.
That's probably.
Oh yeah.
No, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, and the Butch principal, that's how we can refer to her as, because there's no other way really. She's like, well, she's like, you need to stop, and she's like, oh, I know you, and she was like, kind of like mocking me. She's like, oh, big bad, you know, Brody, you won't let anybody push you around. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of how I was. That's kind of how I was. I was always taught to hold your own. I mean, I'm not saying that he's the greatest by any means, but I grew up in a family where my uncle, my dad, they're fighters. They've trained in the martial arts ever since they were kids, with my grandfather and my great uncle. So I was always kind of taught to don't take shit from people. Like I wasn't told to start fights or anything, but defend myself at what costs I need to. I'm not gonna sit there and get bullied for a year and do nothing about it. I'll say something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I was kind of taught that. So right or wrong, that's how I was growing up. But yeah.
I have one last story that I'll share on this podcast about this butch principal.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of us. So there was this black kid who moved to our school.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
keep in mind, we live in the country, and there are rarely any.
Yeah, we're all white redneck type area.
Like, I don't even think there was brown kids. Like, they were all.
Yeah,
all,
I mean, yeah, not that it really matters. It's just just to put in perspective that's why they were pointed out in schools, because
yeah, we didn't have
many people of their color, so
no,
our kids
so
treated
anyways,
them like shit.
This black kid was just this black kid. We didn't even have anything the matter with him. He was just acting like a complete like.
He was a shit starter.
So anyways, we said something. Someone said something to him, like to like fuck off, or something like that, and he would leave and keep coming back. So one of my friends said he's back, and didn't this black kid say that we called him black? Which, even if we did. Okay, I'm not black, but, you know, I wouldn't be offended by that, because you're literally just stating the obvious. Like, if you call me, oh, look, he's white. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm taking you to court. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, you literally just
yeah, but
stated the
I
obvious.
understand how it's different, though, because white people were not... we weren't oppressed. If anything, the natives and any type of, you know, black culture, shit like that, even, like... Asian culture is kind of, it's not something you see every day over here, so they get a lot more hate than they deserve. I mean, they don't deserve any hate for just being a certain race, but you get what I mean.
But we got all called into the principal's office, and oh my god, was that ever the longest story.
Oh yeah.
Ever, saying how you don't do that is just awful, you never do that, and we're like, bitch, like, we've been, like, at this point, we're literally on a first name basis, like, that's not even no word of a lie, like, we've literally been in this Butch's office so many times for the dumbest.
Well, she's
dumbest.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Oh, I remember just the way you said that reminded me how, she would get pissed if I, like, because she was, like, very proper, and she would be like, well, you legally have to call me by this, so I'd be like, okay, I said I won't give you consent for first name, you have to call me by my last name.
Mister.
And she's like, oh, I'm not going to do that, you're the child. I'm like, okay, and then I said her first name.
Well, she got all pissed off because one of us said respect is earned, not given.
That was me. That was me.
Yeah,
I was the asshole.
And she got all pissy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if we were actual little shits, I wouldn't have a problem. But the problem is literally it was like every other day we were called in and purposely called in for the dumbest shit. Like, we could literally say, like,
it's because we didn't take it. We would, if something pissed us off, we'd be like, no, that's not right, you shouldn't be doing that. And they didn't
would call
like
people out on the bullshit, and the principal would always call us, oh, well, big bad, I don't know, she said something like that, like, oh, you guys just think that you're all big and tough, and one day that's gonna bite you in your ass and all this shit. But yeah, we never got in actual trouble. None of us ever got, like, suspended or anything like that. She might have threatened it, but we never got anything like that, ever. But that's just another incident where this black kid, who was a little shit, who had anger problems, used his anger problems as a, oh, well, I have anger problems, so...
In all fairness, too, the guy that he accused of calling him black was literally out of the group. He was the one in the group that was a year younger. He is the nicest, most calm, like, he would never start anything. Like, he is the most calm, avoids
He is
all.
so passive.
Yeah, like
His dad is a police officer.
Yeah, avoids all
So,
bad
like,
fucking situations at all times. Like, he's a passive dude, not the type to go around and start shit, especially not pointing out
yeah,
race shit.
calling-
He is like that
Yeah.
last person you expect to do that.
But oh my god, it was just the funniest shit at that school. But anyways, that's probably about as long as we'll keep this. This is trying to keep our podcasts, our new ones, under an hour. If you guys have any suggestions for what you guys want us to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments. We do live stream most of our podcasts, and then we put them up on our YouTube channel normally the day after or 2 days after. So keep a lookout on there. To make sure you always get notifications when we are streaming, make sure you follow us on Twitter, which would be Kombat_YT. So it will be the same picture as our Twitch. So we always tweet when we go live, so you guys know.
Come watch our podcast early. That's
But you guys can always, you
Live,
all can
dude.
get early access live podcasts, and starting next podcast, we're gonna start taking questions from the chat. Today I didn't set up my chat; it was being a little glitchy this morning, not this morning, rather when we were starting this. But we will definitely start taking more ideas from the chat and talk about some other stuff in the chat. But if you guys have anything to say, don't know.
No, just other than like the normal shit like I don't know, subscribe, shit like that. The shameless plug. Yeah, I don't know. Like shit. Watch our shit live. Ask us questions while we're here. I mean, if y'all want to interact with us, we would be more than welcome to interact with you guys.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
very much.
Next podcast, we'll try to include Nathan a bit more. He went to the Catholic school, so he doesn't have all the stories.
Yeah, true.
So,
You guys have two good stories together. You guys have to tell.
Oh, very much.
Yeah, we have a lot of
we have quite a
we
few.
have a lot of
Oh yeah.
quite a few stories to share. But for sure, guys. Yeah. So we will catch you on the next podcast.